Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on the program Woman to Woman. I'm Adesuwa Usa Uwagie, and today on the program Woman to Woman, we have quite a number of things that we want to talk about, okay? It is the 27th day in the month of March, and it's a special day for us here at Independent Television and Radio. It is our Founders Day, our 27th anniversary, yeah. And so we're celebrating, I'm in blue, that's our color, this is our color here at ITV, blue and white. And so it's a very beautiful one. So we want to celebrate our chief investor, a great man, a colossal, somebody that is in every space, you know. Everywhere you call his name, he is known. He's a renowned gentleman, a wonderful father, and he's just there for everybody. So join me as we celebrate the great Asama of Benin, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawawu Igbenedion. Thank you so much, sir, for making this platform available for somebody like me to showcase my talent and every other person. So, and we must celebrate you for this great establishment called Independent Television and Radio. We're very happy, and we're also celebrating ourselves. So thank you so much, sir, for making it possible for somebody like me, this was our get to be here. So I'm so very proud as I'm speaking to you right now. Okay, so we're celebrating 27 years. Woman to Woman is celebrating with Independent Television and Radio. Okay, don't worry, the big one is coming. All right, so we're going to look at some things that happened before here and the things that are happening now. And I'm also going to be asking my guest some things she has observed in recent times. You know, she has been watching ITV for some time now. Of course, she should be able to say something nice or not so nice about us, whichever. If you talk with it, it's too good. How we do it? So, thank you for joining us. And I'm going to be discussing with Doris Oyinyechi Ogbefo. She's the founder of Society for Empowered Youth Development. Hello, Doris.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a while. You abandoned me.
And happy anniversary.
Thank you so much. Oh, I was really expecting that from you. Thank you. Okay, we want to look at some issues that are mitigating against the woman, some factors that have become so problematic for the woman in our society today. So let's just look at some of them and see how they can be resolved, how the woman can resolve it. As we all know that women face a lot of challenges because of cultural, social, economical, even religious reasons. So Doris Oyinyechi is here to talk about this for us. So Doris, all right, we have been target of violence for, our agenda has been target of violence for a very long time, even during elections, particularly to discourage us from vying for political positions. And so we have faced a lot of physical, sexual, psychological, and socio-economic violence. And we're looking at how the government can ensure that political parties provide a level playing ground for all and sundry, regardless of your gender. So it's one issue that we're facing, and it's a very important one. So how do we go about this?
Yes, is policies. The only way I think the government can come in to strike a balance in terms of gendering development should be to focus on policy development, policy and legal framework to shaping and change the narrative. Today we are hearing United States of America using them to give an example like every other developed nation in the world.
We have a new example too.
Yes, where they've seen that there is need for women to also come on board.
Yeah. And
you can attest to the fact that it's working for them. That was when the first affirmative action bill was signed into law by the former president of the United States of America, in the person of John F. Kennedy in 1963. So this bill, this policy has enabled their development to be gendered. What do I mean by being gendered? In the sense that everybody is on the drawing board
Yes.
to contribute to national development. And it has always spurred development in such nations. And this is something that we all also, as a nation, we need to also embrace. Some persons might be saying that, oh, women are not being sidelined. We need to come up and take it. If there are no policies that are supportive of gender equality, it will be very difficult for we to be able to deal with those issues that hinders or that familiarizes poverty in the nation. That is where all these issues of unequal pay for equal job, discrimination in the workplace, where some certain roles are being assigned to certain gender, issues of harmful cultural practices, issues of patriarchy in the society. All these issues, when we have policies that can come in to cushion us, to put a stop to all these practices.
But unfortunately, we have all of those policies.
No, they are not on ground. One of the policies that's supposed to have aided aided these aspects that's also supposed to come in to make sure that, yes, women have equal enabling environment, have equal access to opportunities, would have been the affirmative action bill that was thrown away by the National Assembly. But we came up with such bill that's supposed to at least give us that ground to come in, to say, okay, from achieving these 5 gender bills, we can extend from this, we can extend our step to or further, we can further extend our request, you understand. But unfortunately, the bill did not fly. So that is essence. We still speak, we still appeal, we still clamor, we still push that that bill should be reconsidered. In my own opinion, I would have said, okay, what are the areas where they are not comfortable with? We can polish it better.
Do we really have to? Because we live in a country where everybody is supposed to be equal. Yeah. We live in a country where nobody is supposed to be discriminated against, you know? So why should we beg? Why should we polish?
See, we disagree to agree. In every negotiation, there must be a compromise. Each party is expected to reach compromise. It is not a war. We are not in the war front with our opposite gender. Sure. Okay? So it is something that even then we need to let them understand. You should not expect everybody to totally agree with you in all what you are pushing for. There is room for disagreement, and there should be a room for reconciliation and to reach compromise.
Do you ever see us getting to that point where women will say that, yes, we are truly comfortable and ready to push this nation?
Yes. We are getting, it's not, it will not happen like a magic. It's a gradual process. It's something that we still have to hold steadfast. We still have to be consistent in what we are agitating for. Okay. We still have to come together. You know, we need to mobilize ourselves to also make others, to put every other person on the same page, for them to understand that what we are pushing for is not for a war, but rather it is something that development, we are putting the nation first.
Yes.
You understand? So when you have a nation where some certain persons have unequal access to opportunities, development will definitely be far from such nation. But by the time we have such enabling environment for all to explore and live to the potential, to their full potentials, that is when we can hit our chest to say, yes, we're on the right direction to achieving sustainable development. But for now, we are still very far behind.
Okay, people have Some school of thought have said that women are the problems of women. I keep asking this problem. No, we're agitating for so much. We want gender equality, we want to have same political powers, we want to have same financial powers, we want to be able to speak, we want to make laws, we want to be at the forefront too, just like the men. But people have said that it will be difficult for us to get there because women will always be women. We will have this PhD syndrome. We don't want, because I cannot be, for instance, and I wouldn't want you to be. So I may want to like fashion out some tactics to thwart your effort at reaching that point where we want to be.
All right. In this sense, I keep telling people that for them to generalize, to say women are the problem of other women, I disagree with that. Because this problem is, if you find out those into the pull her down syndrome, their number is very insignificant to affect what we are pushing for. So, and again, that is where later you remember I mentioned that we all need to mobilize ourselves as one. And this mobilization requires education, sensitization, awareness creation, capacity building. You understand me? Because I know, because when I mentioned earlier familiarization of poverty, you will understand that due to the way we practice patriarchy and other cultural practices, even religious issues, that hinders my fellow gender from accessing equal opportunity or opportunities like the male counterparts. This problem is more pronounced in rural areas. Let me give you an example of one. Like communities that are very sophisticated with the practice of patriarchy, that carries it on their shoulder and the head, where they limit women from having access or partaking in decision making that you know that at the end that do not really represent the interest of this particular population in the society. For instance, some places, like some families will say, oh, when issues of lands are being discussed, women are not permitted to be part of of the negotiation or the consultation. Is a problem. You remember that in our society today, land is one of the major factors of production, and women automatically are being denied access to having equal opportunity to that. Some places is as bad as that a woman cannot be able to buy a land. As long as you are a woman, you can't buy a land unless you hide under the guise of a man to be able to achieve it. So if you look at those communities that are so archaic, that are still embracing this type of practice, development is still very far from them.
So what's the way forward? The
way forward is these policies I mentioned. I keep saying it. There is need for our National Assembly to reconsider the affirmative action bill. They should not see it as a bill that will put us in loggerhead with them. Rather, they should see it as a bill that will gender development. How I keep saying it, how do I mean by gendering development? You know, in life, human beings are just of two sexes, either a man or a woman. We all need both to come together to contribute their quota to make sure that, yes, we will achieve sustainable developments that we are clamoring for. We cannot say we are targeting to meet up with the 2030 SDG targets. Meanwhile, in the background, women are being relegated, subjugated, in fact, made subservient. It's not going to be possible. Let us stop deceiving ourselves. These are the things that when we come in with government coming with these policies, come up with strong legal framework, then that will give room even to build capacities, more capacity at the community level. Because what drives the economy is the level of the GDP. And these GDPs are being contributed, both man and woman has contribution towards that.
When it comes to policy making, how many women do you see?
That is it.
Because presently we have just 2 women in our House of Assembly.
Yes.
Let's use Edo now. This is where we're based. We have just 2 women. So, what do you see women in the next 10, 20 years?
Yes, like I said, every society is being governed with policies.
That are made by men.
Made by, yes. But the men, we need them in this pursuit of gender equality. We need them as an instrument to make it work. And that is where men engagement and consultation supposed to also come in. As we push for this gender equality, we also need to engage the men for them to understand the need that they cannot achieve this alone. They cannot achieve development alone. It is something that they still need us to come on board. Are you getting me? So when these policies are made, political parties will have no option. We have no other choice than to follow suit and dance to the tune of what the policy is talking about. Policy will shaping the actions and inactions of every citizen. For instance, these policies will address the issues of party money politics. You understand? You know, women have limited resources to compete alongside the male counterpart. And you know how election these days goes. It is only political parties that can produce a candidate that the general public would vote for in the general election. So if the party did not present any woman, what else do you expect? The male who comes out will be voted into power. But if we have policies on ground that will shape the actions of everybody as citizens, you will see that political parties will embrace it and be able to do what? Produce us candidates, female candidates, who are competent. As I also push for gender equality, I as well push that women with competence should also take up leadership positions.
All right, that's the same thing Victoria Amo said the other day, that if you're picking women, let's have women who are competent. Who have what it takes.
Yes, to lead.
We ask them to do.
Yes.
All right, we hope that someday, one day, somehow, the woman will be at the front burner of affairs in this nation. Okay, let me go to the next question, and before we leave this stage, for how long have you been watching, or when did you start watching ITV? For how long have you been with us?
When I was young, when I was very small, year 2000.
2000?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's long enough for you to be able to at least say 1 or 2 things. So we're 27 today.
Yeah.
And
congratulations, ITV, for your 27th year anniversary.
Thank you. I feel like flying right now.
Yes, such a milestone.
It's so unique. Today is 27th.
Yeah.
And we're celebrating our 27th birthday. Now, ITV of 2000 that you know, and ITV of today, do you see any
great
difference?
Impact?
Okay.
In fact, ITV then was a motivator for me.
Okay.
And we are both faces.
Okay, this is ITV of like 15, 14 years ago, thereabout.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Thomas Sado. Okay.
Yes.
That's one of our old programs.
Yes, I can see.
Okay.
So this is 27 years of great impact.
Okay.
27 years of community development.
Okay.
27 years of capacity building.
Okay.
27 years of sustainability.
Yeah, you're making me feel so high now. I'm getting high on you on the talk you're saying.
Yes, it's a great thing. And I give all the kudos to ITV management.
Thank you.
And our overall, the SMA of Benin, for making this possible in Edo. Okay. As a little child, I always run to glue the screen to watch ITV's most of the programs.
Okay.
Where we have them, we used to watch the cultural heritage presentation, bold faces, women programs, where our big mummies like Dr. Mrs. Aladeshelu, them. Oh my God.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, my
Yes.
feed is not making me happy anymore because you are showing old clips of ITV of yesterday, and I didn't even see myself there. This is my PD now. What for you? Okay, so how have we impacted you? How have ITV radio impacted you and
So
women in
much.
general?
So much.
Because I know you're a mobilizer of women, so
Yes.
how have you used any of our programs to like mobilize your women?
This program is a fantastic platform in terms of reaching out to the people. You know, we are talking about ITV. It also involves the radio.
Yeah,
So,
ITV
you know,
radio.
this radio also gets to places even where there is no
Electricity.
national grid. Those that are not opportune to be part of the national grid,
Yeah.
they still be able to access the ITV programs. So when we talk about mobilization, sensitization, education, name it, ITV is #1 in terms of coverage, in terms of reachability, in terms of, in fact, how do I even begin to explain it? This was something that I started watching as a young girl.
Okay.
And today, opportune to be also on the screen to
Wow.
also sensitize other young girls
So we have
coming
impacted on you
behind
very
me.
well. That's
So
fantastic.
it's a great impact. It's a testimony to
Okay.
tell you that, yes, ITV have made lots of impact and they're still making impact.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Happy 27 years anniversary.
Yeah, thank you.
Big
Don't worry. So
milestone.
after now, we'll go and do something for you, you know, to celebrate the birthday with us. All right, people. We've had so much fun on the program. And I want to say thank you for being part of it. 27 years of greatness, so 27 years of impacting the Nigerian populace and beyond, 27 years of doing exploits, and 27 years of sustainability, and we are wasking stronger. I want to say thank you to our chief investor once again, the greatest Sama of Benin, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Usawa with Benedion, Pioneer Stars, Kingsley Lato, Omorodio, Gbede Nwose, all of you. And then I want to say thank you to Pastor Dan Omozose, Sonny Dukokosun, my mentors, all those that mentored me on this job. And I also want to say thank you to our amiable managing director, Engineer Elvis Obaseki, for taking this station further. And I know you're taking us to greater heights, okay? So we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.